Oh, no, I forgot. I had it on like 2 different windows. Hello everybody. How y'all doing today? Um, as you can see, right up there in the top left corner, I'm joined here with Toku Society. Yep. I was kind of hoping for like other members to join as well, but like it'll probably happen later on in the stream. But holy crap, Lord, it's just Zane from the STEM team. But yeah, today we're just gonna be working on a track for the game. And as you saw, it's gonna be the main theme from Godzilla Raids Again. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to share the stream with Toku and the others. I don't think the microphone is loud enough, or maybe it's my audio seg. Okay. How about now? Is it like loud enough for you? Eh? There's one problem. I am in your house. Come on. Better? Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, thank you guys for telling me. So, if all goes well, you should be able to hear. Yeah, Toku's in here. So yeah, you'll should be able to hear me on the keyboard. Okay, cool. Hey, there's the man himself. Hello. Yes, is the Goji Rex. Yes. Yes. He's there watching, waiting for the perfect moment. Gudge Rexfield. I'm just reading the chat. So, chat, how y'all doing today? I'm curious. But yeah, a while ago, I actually noticed that a user by the name of Starzilla actually gave us a bunch of questions for us. And every once in a while, I'm just gonna be reading them to the guys and just seeing what their answers are. But also, oh yeah, yeah, ugh. Yeah, yeah. Cool. Yep. So I'm just gonna switch over to the actual screen right here. You should be able to see both my face, the Discord stuff over there, and also you should be able to see the entire. Are we supposed to hear them? I can't hear him either. Eh? 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 Hold on. What? It's gonna have them on like all the tracks. Okay. I
Technical
can hear
difficulty is my favorite.
still nothing. What? Hold on, what? This is weird. This is so weird. This is... Oh, it's working now?
What?
Oh. Okay, alright. Alright, we're good.
There we go.
We're
What?
good. Sudden other person.
It can be heard?
Yeah, you can be
You
heard
sure
now.
can.
Finally.
That's crazy.
I know, man. It's so crazy. Yeah, I'm like incredibly sorry for like all the scuff that the jump scares. No one said this would be a scary stream.
But anyway, what were you saying about the bunch of questions that we got?
Okay. Yeah, like I said, someone by the name of Starzilla83 sent a bunch of them over on the Twitter announcement. So, I guess before we start, I'll just read off a couple of them to you, and you can answer them if you'd like.
Okay.
First one, how do you feel about the current state of STEM's character balance? Are there any characters you feel are currently too strong or too weak?
Right now, I think it's pretty good. It's tough to say because obviously we haven't had any tournaments.
Oh yeah.
But right now, I believe, I think that Jet Jaguar is a little on the weak side, and Gigan and Megaguirus are really strong, and Fyrodan used to be kind of like the undisputed best character in the game, and I think he's fallen off a little bit, but I don't know if I'm gonna balance them just yet because they're in like their final states, and I want people to play with them to see what they can do before, and then like a few months after release, I'll see if they need any changes.
Right.
Oh yeah, and Space Godzilla. That's
Space
Space Godzilla is
Godzilla
also
is-
like completely broken and disturbing.
Yeah,
Easily the
Space
most broken
Godzilla's-
character.
Yeah, he's cracked.
At like complete optimal crystal positioning and stage choice, and a little bit of like if your opponent puts their controller down to go to the bathroom, Space Godzilla can do like true combos that do half their life bar. Which is pretty fun. That's just fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess we'll go for a first three. Second one, which of the original 18 characters did you feel needed to most changes in terms of gameplay when being ported to STEM?
So far, of the ones that I've done, everyone has, if you look at like, I mean, you guys both have access to the changelog, but these guys don't. If
Yeah.
you look at the changelog for literally everyone, they all have about the same amount of changes.
Mm.
Um, in terms of, because like every single attack has like 5 or 6 changes to it, you know, because everything just needs to be up to the standard of STEM because it's a new game. But some changes are obviously more important than others. And I'm trying to think who out of everyone plays the most differently instead of just like raw amount of changes on the changelog, rather who like benefited or didn't benefit the most from the changes I've given to them. And I'm thinking it's probably Space Godzilla, Megalon. Honestly, I've done so many now. I have to look at the roster to see.
Definitely Super Mecha Godzilla.
Oh yeah, that's him. That's the
Oh.
one. That's a completely different character.
Oh, dude, yeah. I just can't wait for I can't wait for people to actually like see him.
Yeah,
Would be
me
hype.
too. Destroya, I would say like he has the least amount of changes in terms of his play style. Like he has the least amount of changes, but he has more things. Like he's things have been added to him. Like he has new attacks and he has flight and all that stuff. So he's the same thing but way better. And also the things that were dumb about him were nerfed, and he was given new dumb things that people can play with that are much more fun.
This, no, guys, no, no, not happening. We're not gonna like reveal anything about like any new stuff at the moment. This is just supposed to be like music stream at the moment. But what if though?
That would be quite a last minute addition.
That
The
yeah that
Super Mechagodzilla trailer is in the works because he's done. He's been done for a while. The character.
yeah,
Um,
the character
so
has been done for a while.
people know that. People know that he's been done. So they've been speculating that like Super Mega Godzilla must be the next one. But it's a lot easier to reveal characters that have been done longer, like Megaguirus. We kind of just like the order of which we reveal things is pretty much just like whenever we get something done, like then we'll be like, okay, yeah, we can show this off. And it kind of sucks because if not every single aspect of a character is done, then we can't show them off. Like I really want to show off Anguirus,
Mm,
but he still has a lot of work left to do.
yeah.
So
Um, and last question before we actually get started. Thus far, all the gameplay that has been shown has been in versus, as the game seems to primarily focus on 2-player gameplay. What's the current state of the 4-player modes? Are they just as fun as versus, or is it a bit of a chaotic mess at the moment?
well, 4-player mode has always been a bit of a chaotic mess and kind of a gimmick. That was the one of the main appeals of the original games was like it's a fighting game, but it's 4-player, which you know, other than Smash, didn't exist. So, you know, it doesn't have like versus mode or melee mode rather in terms of like mechanical changes doesn't have any changes, but it still benefits from all the changes that STEM has. So it's fun in that way, I guess, but it's not like the primary focus. And there's still issues with like wanting to hit an opponent over here, but you lock on to the nearest one. But I mean, those are kind of non-issues when you actually like learn all the controls that you have, because there's a button that really no one should know that this exists. If you press the right stick, like you click on the right stick, then you disengage with the opponent. And just in my like controller settings, I have that bound to the left trigger, so it's easier for me to do. And learning how to like disengage with the opponent at the right time is a really, really valuable tech skill to learn. And I think that makes melee mode, like that pretty much fixes all the issues with melee mode, is because that's pretty much what it is the tracking system isn't fun.
Right.
Anyway, that was a long answer. Good start.
Yeah. Right. So, I should mention that this project is, the song is being made completely from scratch. There's like no the only thing I added was like the reference tracks here from the original film, just so I can get an idea on like what the chords for it are. So yeah, I've just been playing along like this. Oh, accidentally selected the wrong thing. Whoops. So that's just how I've been trying to get get an idea for it. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So, first up, let's see if I can. Okay. Next up, add. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Kawhi. This is good, but it can be better.
I like many things.
Yeah, I guess if I'm gonna go for like that rhythm line, I better have them like have the bass line be consistent. Oop. Nope. Nope. Stop it. Next, a lead. And finally, for the bassline stuff, we're gonna add, or at least the basic stuff, I meant, we're gonna add a drum kit. Specifically this one from Ministry of Rock 2. Do you use a piano keyboard or one regular computer keyboard? Yeah, I use a composer keyboard. I'm using the M Audio Keystation 88 Mark II. If you're wondering. I could never have the patience for this. Yeah, well, a lot of things are like, a lot of people are different about that. I initially, like, I did not have the patience to do this initially, but then as I got better and as I did more and more stuff with STEM, as I did more and more with STEM, I got better at it, and I've developed a lot more patience for it. Here we go. That's the annoying thing about the old soundtracks. They're like way off like tempo, so I have to keep adjusting it in order for it to match. But hey, it's not gonna be that bad. How dare this 1955 kaiju movie song have any problems?
Can't believe it.
I can't believe it. I've heard from somewhere that like Masaru Sato would like conduct slower than like it was supposed to. So that's why when like he was conducting like a recording of the when he was conducting Ifukube's Symphonic Fantasia event, it was like it was slower than like the other recordings would be. Oop, who is this one this time?
Jacob, I did.
Jacob.
Welcome, Jacob.
Welcome
Oh,
back.
by the way, if anybody asks any STEM-related questions, I believe Jacob's got an echo going. If anyone wants to ask any STEM-related questions in the chat, then I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Oh yeah.
I'll be looking at the chat.
Do I have an echo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jacob Bint. We need to complain to Masaru Sato. Oh wait.
All right. How about now?
Wow. Wow. You know what? Just brilliant joke, Skato.
I don't believe you have an echo anymore.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good, man. Okay.
It's
Okay.
so what theme are you making?
Godzilla Raids Again.
Oh hell yeah.
Are there going to be any fun Easter eggs on the maps, like on billboards or on mountains? Yes, there are quite a few.
Yeah. Yes, there are.
A funny one to mention is because recently I went through the stage textures and I did some like color tweaking to get like we're going on more of a bit of a more gloomy look with the stages, like a little bit, not too much or anything like that. But if you've watched the recent Mega Gears trailer, then you know that like Tokyo looks very different. So I went through all the textures, and a funny one I noticed was that like for one of the storefronts, one of the names of the stores in Tokyo that Christ put is just like the F word. I was like, that's pretty funny.
I forgot he did that.
One of my favorite stores.
Yes.
Exclusively in Japan.
Exclusively in Japan. I remember I told Toku and Synchronize this last night. Zack Snyder stages. I remember there was like this game on the Famicom discs. Yeah, I'm gonna show this. Well, don't change that. I remember there was this game on the Famicom disk system, called Explosive Fighter Patton, and one of the screens on it, one of the screenshots of it was like, turn to side B and insert it into the effing box. Like, not even censored. Like, it was like a Japanese game, and like it was written in English. Turn to side B and insert into fucking box.
Here it is. Here's the texture for the store. the subtitle underneath the name of the store, the lovely name of Fuck, is what do we sell? Question mark.
What do we sell?
No one knows.
I could just imagine it. It'd be like like you went to the store and then like they literally don't even know what they sell. So it's like a gamble every time you walk into it. It's like, oh, what are they selling today? Like they don't even know.
Overlord. An open ocean stage would certainly be on the easier spectrum of things that we can do.
Zay, you have perfect pitch, don't you?
I'd like to think I do.
I think you do. Yeah, because like being a music person myself, that kind of stuff, like I wish I could do. Because you're listening to the original track and then like recording the guitar with that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can tell what the notes are. I haven't quite got there yet with music. It kind of sucks. It definitely makes things a lot harder.
And by the way, like, just asking the chat real quick, like, if the music is too loud compared to the Discord chat, just please tell me and I'll adjust.
It's just us right now. It's all good too. It sounds fine.
Yeah, Zane is being possessed by Mozart.
Super Mario Zilla asks, ever since you found out you can change animations and make new ones, what was the hardest new animation you had to implement? Destroy Us Flying.
Yeah,
That was definitely a hard one. Yeah.
I remember he was having like trouble with that.
Oh
How
yeah.
exactly do the animations work again?
I don't know. it's too like it's too complicated for me to like say it in less than 5 sentences, so I don't want to even like think about that or put any brain power towards that.
Yeah, because like remember everything that he does is all done through like hex editing.
Oh yeah,
So-
I know. I can imagine it's probably atrocious.
Oh yeah.
All right, let me try. Okay, so essentially the animation is a series of sequential data that is pretty consistent in how it's ordered. So like what it is it'll display like a bone and then a bunch of data after it, and that data tells that bone what to do during the animation. So it'll be like, okay, so for this bone, which is like Godzilla's right hand, it will do this motion during the animation, and like his right forearm will do this, his right like bicep will do this, and it has that for all of the bones in their body. And you can take bone data from existing animations and put them into new ones,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So like Destroy's intro, he does that like wing folding motion where he
Yeah.
like folds himself out. That was perfect for his flight. I took the bone data for both of his wings and I put it on a kind of new animation I made where it's like his he's like ducking. I used his like duck animation as a base when he's like low blocking. And then I gave it the attributes of like moving forward, because that's like an animation thing. I made it to where like his arms are like his being lifted by the opponent. They're just like straight backwards. Pretty much everything else was like this normal idle, and then I don't remember how I gave his like whole body that shifting when he flaps his wings, but I used something. Yeah, that's how I made his flight.
Interesting.
Now he flies.
Yeah. Like I said many times, I would not be able to understand what he does, even if he gave me like a simple explanation of see you, Kawhi. Even if he gave me like a simplified explanation of what he does, I would not even be able to understand it.
See, like I understand what he's talking about. It would probably take me forever to like have a successful attempt with it, and I have to ask a lot more questions. But stuff like that makes me wonder where I'd be at in terms of my knowledge if I actually had a computer that would function properly and work on the game consistently.
This sounds fucking awesome.
Really
Thank
does.
you.
I've made other animations. I've done a few other ones, mostly just tweaking stuff that like looks bad, like trying to get some animations to look better. I've definitely done like I've done like 15 animations, I'd say so far. But some are just as simple as like a character opens their mouth, what they did previously. Some are that simple, while others are so complex that it's like it takes 5 weeks, like Destroyers Flying, or another character doing a cool thing that they couldn't previously that I don't want to talk about. Who's the next base character you plan to work on, or are you working on right now? I don't know. I want to get caught up on everything I have on my to-do list, and then I will probably do either Baragon or Melgira. Not sure which. Baragon would be a lot easier, but Melgira has been one I've been wanting to do for a long time. What did you say? You kind of cut out.
Oh, I totally forgot that. Zane was live streaming this on YouTube as well, because you were like answering the questions, and I was like, "Who are you talking to?" But I understand.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, so is Melgira going to be saying its name or make more silent sounds? Both. Melgira will be. We'll say his name less often, but we'll still say his name, because at this point, that's just kind of iconic. You know,
It is an iconic thing for him to do.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the most characterization
Mogera.
he's ever had.
Mogera. Yeah, I agree that like kind of says his name a little too often.
He's very self-absorbed. He's really into himself.
Yeah, he's just such a narcissist.
I mean, the funny thing about that is like that. I'm sure everyone knows this, right? But that sound of like the robot saying Mogira is not. It's from something. It's from a. It's from like this album they released of all these Toho monster sounds, and in between, in order to like tell the audience who's next, like whose sounds are playing next, there's like a robot voice saying all the names of the monsters. You know, it's like Mecha, Godzilla, Anger, like it does all that, and it says Mogira, and that's where it came from. They were just like, let's just use that. Let's just have him say his name.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Overlord, the answer was either Baragon or Mogira.
Yeah.
And something I've been wondering is, will other winged kaiju like the Ghidorahs or Megalon gain a new flight treatment similar to Destroya? Megalon has his own unique kind of mobility system that isn't true flying, but it's kind of just as cool. And then Ghidorah also is flying as much as well.
Mogira as the announcer would be pretty cool. Would be a pretty cool Easter egg
That'd be
in the
funny.
future.
That'd be funny. That would be pretty funny.
It's definitely sounding like a one of them normal battle tracks. One of them dual challenge / battle tracks.
I don't think we've mentioned this publicly about the challenge tracks. I don't think we've said anything about that publicly.
I think I've brought it up in passing.
Yeah.
It's
right.
kind of I would say that the effect of it has shifted a little because we've decided to incorporate a lot of them into just normal versus mode.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think like if we want to officially talk about it, we can. Pretty much, if you want to answer that, I guess answer it. Tell them what's going on with that. It's up to
Yeah.
you.
So pretty much all of the challenge tracks have their own unique themes. That's why like if you go on the Discord server and you look at the FAQ section, Godrex mentioned over 50 plus new tracks for the game, 30 of them being fight themes. There's not like a lot of them. Some of them are menu themes, but the others are like are challenge tracks. And I've given them like I've given all the challenge tracks their own unique themes. And that'll also be something that I bring up later in the little questionnaire from Starzilla. Which, speaking of which, I made a little bit of progress, so but we continue it. In the original STE, the devs gave all the clone characters original movesets to help set them apart. While Ghidorah and Mecha Ghidorah played very differently, the Godzillas were still pretty similar, just with slightly different movesets, while the Mecha Godzillas both still had a similar playstyle of being a powerhouse character with some zoning capabilities. Do you plan to further differentiate the clones, and if so, in what way?
Yes, as much as possible. Yeah, that's pretty much like you've seen how Kiryu plays. Now imagine the complete opposite of that,
Mm.
and that's how Super Mechagodzilla plays. Whereas before they were pretty much the same character, just kind of very slow and, like you said,
Yeah.
zony. And then the Godzillas. I mean, since I've done Kiryu and Super Mechagodzilla's gameplay before the Godzillas, a good analog for them would be just imagine organic Super Mechagodzilla and organic Kiryu that play a little differently, but have like a very similar approach to getting in and doing damage and movement, I suppose.
Right. I guess we'll do like 3 at a time. You've previously mentioned that Godzilla will be the last character developed as he is meant to be the most beginner-friendly character in the game. Does this statement apply to both Godzillas or just one of them?
Both. Both. Like, I assume I'd do them at the same time, pretty much.
Yeah.
Obviously, they play very differently. They will. But
Yeah.
yeah, probably save them both for last.
Yeah. When initially developing a character, do you go in with a plan in mind of how you want them to play, i.e. rushdown, zoner, grappler, etc., or do you create the character and simply see how they turn out?
It is usually I go in with like a very basic idea of like how I want the character to feel. Like I know, like here's an example. For Godzilla 90s, who in the game will just be called Godzilla, I want him to feel like a power trip. That's pretty much the only words that are in my head right now for like my plans for his gameplay is like I want him to be a power trip. Like I just want him to feel big and powerful.
Right.
And that was the exact same thing I had with Destroya, where it's like I want him to feel mean. Like I'm going to model his gameplay around the idea that he feels mean. And then I just kind of see how they turn out gameplay wise. I don't stick to archetypes at all. And then eventually they settle into an archetype because, you know, they exist for a reason in games. It's because, like, they can't not exist, you know?
Yeah.
But characters like Gigan play like nothing in any fighting game ever. And it's because I didn't have an archetype in mind for them. Like he's primarily rushdown, but there is like there's no sense in trying to shoehorn in some kind of analog for him. Like the closest thing I can think of is if anyone has played Project Plus, he's kind of like Mewtwo, where he can. I mean, if you know exactly what I'm talking about with like the teleport mechanics. But yeah, pretty much just like I go in with like a core idea and I keep that in the back of my head, but mostly I'm just kind of like winging it. The first things that I do, if I have ideas for attacks or ideas for like new mechanics, or like the first thing I do is movement, and then I do like any new mechanics that I want to add to them, and then I do pretty much all the standard attacks last. And that's where I like build the meat of the kit is like making everything flow together, and then I'm like, well, this attack that he has is not useful at all, and it's kind of boring. So let's replace it with like the Tri-Mazer cannon or something more exciting like that, you know. Yeah, I'm just kind of winging it, and then whatever the character needs, I fulfill, and then that shifts the whole dynamic of how the character plays. Then it gets more interesting because then they need more things, and then eventually, I'm like, "That's good. He's done." And I move on.
one. It's Iris.
Hey, Iris.
Hello.
Oh my god. No
You're
way.
so close to the
That
voice
was
video.
that was the absolute closest we will ever get to hearing Iris's voice.
Just an air
We heard the
conditioner.
ambient of her back rooms.
Yeah, we've heard the air conditioner. This is like, no way. This is historic.
Kind of like the Simpsons there for a second.
How many questions did this fella ask? Like 30?
Let me check.
25 questions.
25.
25.
It's a lot.
That is quite a few. Shall answer
Yeah.
them all.
Yeah. Or at least we're gonna get to as many as we can.
We'll do them all at the end when you're done with the
Yeah.
all the
Or- or
remaining
some-
ones there.
Yeah.
How will all of you feel when STEM is officially released?
Relieved.
I I can't imagine that existence.
I'd say it'd be pretty exciting, honestly, because the game's out there for people to play, one. And
Right.
it's already been talked about before, how obviously there's going to be, a version 2.
I'd probably cry and take a 3-month vacation.
Go for it.
Goju X live in VC as a community just immediately discovers $40. only participant is Zane. I might as well save this. I guess to maybe bring the chat back up alive again. I made a little bit more progress. Let's move on to the next three questions. Zoners
Nice.
are, by far, one of the most disliked playstyles in fighting games. Mogira, especially, was known to be a very annoying character to fight for a lot of people. How do you feel about that statement towards zoners, and will it affect how any of the zoners in the gameplay or are made?
Well, zoners are particularly disliked in Smash. And that's pretty much because there's no real way to actually deal with projectiles, unless you have like a character-specific reflector. But even then, like projectiles are a big problem in Smash, and that's why I think people don't like zoners who play that game specifically. But more broadly, when it comes to fighting games, zoners are decently hated, and it's because their entire goal is to skip neutral and force interactions out of their opponent by when you throw a projectile from a long range, you are forcing your opponent to react to it with something. And that means playing neutral with them is, for those who don't know what neutral is pretty much when neither you or your opponent is in advantage or disadvantage, and you're just kind of looking at each other, and both of you want to get in. A zoner doesn't want you to get in, and their neutral is to keep you away as much as possible and force you to do unfavorable things by throwing projectiles at you. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. I think people... I don't want to say people are babies, but it really just depends on like the game that you're playing. If complaining about zoning is justified. Mogira in Save the Earth is the dumbest character in that game. Like, probably least well designed character by far, right? And that's why I think doing his gameplay is going to be so fun, is because that's going to be a huge challenge. Just like Space Godzilla was a big challenge. Mega Gears was a big challenge. So I'm excited to do that. Even though Baragon would be easier, I'm excited to do Mega Gears next just because it would be fun.
You mean Mogira?
Yeah, but like the way to make a
'Cause you
zoner
said-
not toxic is to give them clear counterplay.
Because you said so I'm excited to do Mega Gears next.
That was Mega Gears, yeah.
Yeah.
That was Mega Gears. That was the random number generator. Because I was like, oh man, I need to do Mega Gears like next to last or like right before Biolante or something, because she is just completely broken and I don't know how I'm gonna fix her, right? And then I got her next on the RNG. I'm like, no, I can do it, and I did it.
Yeah.
So,
What they say, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
yeah. So I'm happy with how she plays, and I'm sure Mogira is gonna be awesome. I think just like giving Mogira very clear weaknesses is the way to go. Because another pretty big problem that like zoners have in some games like Smash is that even though they're hard to get in on, it's hard to approach them and get in on them. But even when you do, they have escape options. They have attacks that can break your combo, and then they can just go back to resetting neutral when it's like, no, I worked hard to get in. I want to be rewarded. I want to do a big combo on you. And you're going to be able to do that to Mogira, but it will be pretty hard to get in. So I'm excited. I'm excited to make a non-toxic zoner. That sounds like fun.
Oh, yeah, well, good luck on that.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. One of the things many people are excited about is the prospect of brand new characters being added to the game. You've mentioned that, as of now, you're more focused on reworking the original 18 characters before you start working on any new characters. Is there any bit of news you can reveal about the first new character, such as how far along in development they are, or who the first character might be?
The first new character, as in like, what does that mean? The one after we're done overhauling everyone? Whoever
Yeah,
we have
I'm
planned for
assuming
that?
like after the original 18, like any maybe derivatives or completely new ones.
Well, we're pretty far along in development on a clone. That's going to be in version 1.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah. Will alternate costumes have any changes on gameplay, such as Fire and Ice Rodan or Burning Godzilla, or are they purely aesthetic?
They are purely aesthetic. We haven't implemented the skins yet into the game because, it should do the gameplay of the monster first and get all the balancing. Otherwise, you have to do it 6 times or whatever, however many skins there are. We're kind of teetering with the idea of maybe they could have different rage attacks, stuff like that. But for the most part, they'll have some differences, maybe a different intro themes, different roars and taunts, that kind of stuff. But for the most part, their gameplay is going to be identical. It's just going to be a cosmetic preference.
Yeah. Because also another thing we haven't mentioned is I think it should be pretty clear, but the intro, the different skins also have their own unique intro themes as well.
If it calls for it, yeah.
If it calls for it, yeah.
Palette swaps usually don't. It's mostly if it's a different suit or something.
Yeah, or maybe even a character inspiration, the Ava skin. That one has its own theme.
That one has its own Evangelion song.
Yeah. Which was actually picked by a member of my team, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah. Cool.
How much of a priority is Biolante? I may or may not have heard the answer before, but will Biolante be in the initial release? Probably not. She's going to take a little more time to properly fix.
Yeah. Yeah, because you mentioned before, like, Biollante was, like, not even close to being done. She's gonna
Not
have,
even
like...
close. She's gonna need like complete. Like we're gonna need to know a lot about animations to fix her.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Skato.
Do you have any plans to add new modes in later releases or profiles? Probably, yeah. I don't see why not. Just have to think of them.
Yeah. Hey, there's Bone in the chat.
Hello, Bone.
All right, let's knock out a couple more of them. Will
Alrighty.
beam battles be changed at all?
Is that the whole question?
That's the whole question.
I have no idea, man. I hope I can change the colors, but I've been holding off on that because that kind of can't really be done until I change the HUD. Because whenever you do send out a color, it flashes that color as you're on your energy bar, and I haven't figured out how to change those colors yet, as in addition to the particles. So I guess I'm just waiting.
Yeah. Have any changes been made to rage?
I assume you mean like the rage, like when you enter rage and your stats are different. Not Not really. There is the new rage meter mode.
Mm.
I think what we might end up doing though, if it's possible, is just getting rid of the like the upgraded knockback effect rage has, because when you have rage in this game, say through melee, you have so many infinites, and it's just kind of funny. Because obviously, like, I'm not balancing around the idea of items and having rage, so I'm like fine with it. Like, I'm not gonna balance the characters around uh, the fact that you can infinite during rage. I'd rather just get rid of that in rage, you know.
Right. Has the lock-on system been changed?
No. Nope. Works the
Yeah.
same.
No. Yeah. You know what? Since that was a short answer, we'll do the next one. How much of an effect will the military have on the kaiju? Throughout most of the Atari trilogy, it felt like the devs never could really get it right. As in Melee, with the exception of the freezing tanks, the military didn't do much, while in STE, they were a little too strong and rather annoying.
In Save the Earth Melee, they're cosmetic, as
Yeah.
it should be.
Yeah, they don't do anything.
Military should not be able to damage or flinch giant monsters. I don't know anybody who has ever been like, I'm really glad that just happened to me, when they get hit by a tank missile and it drops their beam.
It completely
No.
disrupts gameplay too. Yeah, like
Yeah.
firing a beam,
Right.
get hit by a tank, flinch.
Yeah,
you
like,
have some
alright, whenever you're-
grab
So
somebody,
stupid.
and then
Whenever you're like picking up a building and like you're about to throw it, but then a tank just hits you and then you
Yeah.
drop it.
I've noticed when people play Save the Earth Melee for the first time and they see a tank missile coming towards them and they're like charging a beam, they let their beam rip out of like PTSD from Save the Earth Vanilla. It's like, no, we don't do that here. You don't have to do that anymore. It's okay.
It's okay.
You're safe with us.
You're safe with us. Yeah. Cool.
It's one of those things that it's cool in like in theory, but not in practice.
Yeah, like that. I feel like that happens a lot with Godzilla games. Like they obviously do have like some obstacle for you, so they just make the military make you flinch, and they do like slight amounts of damage. Which that part right there, like that, like I could kind of excuse the flinch, but like not the damage part. It's like they do like, maybe like 2 damage against you.
I think a
Which
big
even-
part of the environment in Save the Earth Melee is converting all those obstacles into potential benefits and things that are more interesting. Like a good example are like the new building mechanics and how easy buildings are to destroy. Yeah, but also you can combo off of buildings now. Like buildings are not a hindrance to the gameplay; they just add to it, which is
Yeah.
it's the best of all worlds, really.
Alright, and before I move on to the next part of the arrangement, I'm going to knock out a few more. Will blocking be changed at all? In the original STE, it felt like you could stand block about 90% of the moves, and that crouch blocking was primarily used to dodge beams.
To dodge beams. Maybe in Destroy Monsters Melee, but beams track you, so that's not really applicable in Save the Earth. Well, like, the goal is to have high blocking and low blocking be equally useful. Certain moves beat out certain types of block. You know, like blocking high will block most attacks, but ducking will block low attacks, and you will be dodging high attacks. But the counter to that is they can get hit by spikes or anything that can hit people on the ground. That's what the low blocks are susceptible to. And I think the block system in Save the Earth Melee right now works really well. Maybe in the future, I think it would be cool if we could introduce a more intricate block system with like parrying and like a block decay or some kind of like the more damage you take, the less like meter you have to block, and then like your block could break or something. But that's way too complicated, and right now what we have works really well. So.
Have the power-ups like Rage, Airstrike, or Health and Energy Drops been changed?
The cosmetics for them have, for sure, yeah. They are now based on the Destroy Monsters Melee particles. Those power-ups, how they look. The actual effects haven't been changed. They work okay.
Yeah. Has survival mode had any changes?
No, but I mean, it probably will. We'd like to incorporate the new characters into it.
Yeah. Will there be online multiplayer accessible in-game, or will external software be required?
We'll use Parsec. So.
In fact, that's actually what we've been using for the private playtesting sessions.
Yeah, and it works extremely well to the point where it's kind of a godsend. Parsec's really nice.
Yeah.
It means that it's not even possible for a desync. And I mean, if you don't have a very good computer, which STEM requires like a decent one, you don't need like an amazing computer, but
yeah, you don't need one from like NASA.
yeah, but a $300 laptop you might chug at like 40 FPS, but if you don't have a good computer, but you have a friend that has a good computer, then you can just play with them, and you don't even need to install the game. That's really nice. Parsec is nice.
Yeah, Parsec is really cool.
Was that the second or third one?
That was actually the fourth. I just threw in another question.
Cool.
Just cause.
All right, back to it.
Yep. Right now I'm going to be adding a 4-part string section and a horn.
A horn. Interesting.
Two. Violas. Cellos. Oh wait, yeah, I didn't even change anything. This really is an Anguirus track. Yeah, because like Anguirus's roar was made with a saxophone. They like blew like really hard into it, so it was like also known as what happens when you put a 4-year-old in a room with a saxophone. No, I don't want to clone that. What are you doing? Lastly, French horns.
Forgot how dark Godzilla Raids Again soundtrack got.
Almost as if it was from his perspective. Which it is. Pretty much. That's a thing that everyone says.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah, it is true. Okay, so now I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna go to BRSO Articulate, and I'm going to create little MIDI outs for each of the instruments. And this is what it's going to allow me to use the different articulations. Also, yeah, I learned that that fact about Anguirus' roar from like a YouTube channel called Big Action Bill.
Bab.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Bab.
I think I've seen a couple of that fella's videos. He's makes
Yeah.
some good videos.
Yeah, he does. That's how I learned about how like about how people in the West didn't really like Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah because of that scene with the Godzillasaurus. It has a dark tone, but then you look at 55 Godzilla. Y'all ever see that like that analog horror Godzilla thingy?
Yes.
Yeah.
My friend is actually making that.
Like, yeah, not gonna lie, man. Like, I was actually kind of spooked from that.
What are you talking about?
The
The
analog
Suitmation
horror.
Trials.
Yeah, the Suitmation trials. It was basically like it was like a creepypasta thing where like someone was just like, guys, I think my copy of Godzilla Raids Again is a little weird.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw that.
Yeah, it's cool. Another guy who makes that actually. Oh yeah, Toku also knows him. Yeah, it is kind of spooky. For me personally, at least. There it is. There's horns. That sounds so much like something from a superhero movie. Like, I have no idea why. That sounded like so heroic. Now is the time where I start programming the strings section.
Oh my god. Zane,
Hmm.
please go look in VC General.
Oh. What? Oh, I have to show this. I have to show this on stream. Oh my god. I have to show them this. Oh, why is it a WEMP file? No, I want it as a PNG. I want it as PNG. Okay. Okay. So so this is what they just showed me. Like, look at the guy on the left. Look at the guy on the left. It's like, yeah, this is me. This is me right now. This is me.
No, he leaned back and crossed his arms, and I was like, "Why does that look familiar?" And then I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, I know who he looks like right now."
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, exactly. That's literally like literally the guy.
He's the guy.
The guy. I don't know his name, but it's the guy.
It's just the guy. That's his name.
That's his name. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. Just keep them entertained for me, real quick. I'll be no more than like maybe a minute or a second.
Yeah, if only the hat was a little different, it would have been better, but still pretty good.
That's a perfect image.
Really is.
Okay. All right. So now we got that done. Let's do a few more.
Sure.
The aesthetic
Wouldn't-
of the original STE was pretty cool in that it gave off a vibe that you yourself were a part of some kaiju observations and reconnaissance team. I don't know.
Reconnaissance.
It's
Reconnaissance.
like reconnaissance. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
reconnaissance. It's like you're spying.
Oh,
You're like,
reconnaissance.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Reconnaissance team. Especially in the main menu on the submarine. Will you keep this aesthetic or will it be changed to somewhat fit in with STEM's more colorful art style?
Not sure how possible it is to really change from the fact that it is a submarine, but we are kind of merging the two themes of Destroy Monsters Melee's menu and Save the Earth's.
Hmm.
The feeling of
Yeah.
both.
Yeah. Does the Versus screen use new renders using your new models, new artwork, or screenshots from the films, or have they been completely unchanged?
They are renders of in-game models.
Yep. And those things were done by our good friend Toku.
Indeed.
Yeah. The work Zangoan has done for this game, oh hey, that's me,
As are you.
has been positively received thus far, and his covers are such a huge step up over the original game's soundtrack. Thank you. Which of his is your current favorite?
My favorite? It's my favorite without spoiling anything is probably EM20. That has been my jam for like 2.5 months in my car. My original favorite was always BioWars and then the Baggin theme. But like my actual favorite right now is not one that I can say because it's a spoiler.
Ooh.
This is a banger.
How do I say
Yeah.
this also without like spoiling anything? Isn't that the one that a couple months ago you said would be like the theme? Is it that one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
It's a banger.
Yeah. Yeah. Are there any completely original songs being created for STEM, or will the soundtrack be made up entirely of covers?
I believe it's just covers. Are there any original ones?
There are yeah, there are a few originals. Like the one with the Dr. Sarazawa trailer, that one was like entirely original.
Yeah.
And I guess I can say this here. Three of the challenges actually have original music for them. I can't say which ones, but yeah, you'll have to see which ones they are.
That's
Which
right.
ones will have
Yeah.
for when version 1 comes out. You'll have to see which ones that have them.
And they are rather nice.
Yeah.
That's something that you've expressed some interest in, is making battle tracks that are just original.
Yeah,
'Cause,
making original
you know,
stuff.
why not? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, I think other people in the Discord server have like expressed yeah, I feel like they should be there should be some originals, because then that gives you an opportunity to flex like how creative you are, truly, instead of just like using other covers to
Yeah, well,
make your
we'll think
point.
about it this way, right? At one point, the Destroy Monsters Melee soundtrack, those were all originals. And now they're classic and iconic to Godzilla. You could
Yeah.
easily make something like that.
Right.
Like, easily. That would
In
be
fact,
to that same level.
oh man, it's gonna be weird. Like, if, like one day, like, my original stuff is gonna be viewed as like classic to Godzilla. It's gonna be pretty funny.
I think this whole era of reveals before version 1 comes out is going to be like a big point of nostalgia for people in 5 or 6 years.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I guess last one before I keep going. Will there be a new main menu theme?
Yep.
Yep.
Pretty epic.
Yep. Can't say what it is.
That was like the third song you made.
Yeah, or at least one of the first ones.
Yeah,
I
one
did.
of the earliest. Yeah. Might have been the second one you ever made. No. The
Oh,
first
no,
one
no,
you
no.
made was Destroy All Monsters. No,
No, it was-
Godzilla vs. Self-Defense Forces.
Yes, it was that one.
Yeah.
I'm looking on my list now. Yeah, it was I feel like I can say this without being like too spoilery. It was made in March of of last year. So
What was?
the menu theme. That one was made in yeah, it was March of last year. So
Damn, time is freaking.
yeah, man, time has flown.
I mean, I came in over the summer, but damn, still,
Yeah.
it's almost summer again. Wow.
Wow. All right, let's keep it going. All right, so hang on a minute, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay. Now I am in charge of the stream. Welcome to my stream. It is me, Goji Rex.
Hey, since he's gone for a minute, someone asked the question.
We could, you know what we could do is we could take over a stream and live stream Left 4 Dead.
We could.
We could. I'm kind of, I've been playing it. That's just what I've been doing.
I haven't played it in a little bit, actually.
I'm just playing campaigns solo, no bot. Just by myself. Seeing how far I can get. What is the hardest character to rework so far?
Shrek.
Depends on how you define hard, difficult. Like, Super Mega Godzilla took the most amount of time and was probably the most painful. But Megalon was also painful for no reason. He just had no reason to be painful. However, yeah, it's got to be Super Mecha Godzilla. I don't know how else it could be.
If I can find my my mouse, we can play Left 4 Dead. I
Hell
can't
yeah.
find my mouse. I literally had my mouse and keyboard out yesterday.
Yo, I got laser sights for my grenade launcher. Let's go.
Hey.
I don't think that does anything. There's no shot that does anything, right?
I have acquired my mouse.
Indeed. Real.
Give me
For
1
real.
second here. Of course. Of course Steam wants my password. Why wouldn't it?
Hey, Psycho, come on.
It is no longer my stream.
Right.
There we go.
Oh. Cool. Okay.
Beautiful. Round of applause. Round of applause.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
Are you done?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, wow. It's pretty crazy.
Yep.
Well, good job.
Yep. Music video will be sent pretty shortly. Or will be uploaded probably maybe either like today or tomorrow, depending on if I have time to upload it today. I'm gonna convert it to .mic and .raw files pretty soon, so that they can add it to the game. Or rather, I just need to find a way to make it loopable, which hopefully shouldn't be too hard.
Or you can just send me the MP3 or whatever wave file, whatever the converter takes.
Yeah,
I
the
figured
dot
it
wave.
out. Yeah, wave.
Yeah, because Dylan Rocket made like a converter for STEM that allows me to convert .wave files to the files that the game needs in order to run the music.
Such a great tool.
Oh yeah.
I remember the old method.
I think I blocked that out of my memory.
I don't even remember the old method.
I don't even. Yeah, I
I don't-
remember it
I don't-
either. That's why I said I blocked it out of my memory. If
I
it
don't
if it
remember it
was
100%, but you have to like, what the hell do you have to do? You have to take the file and you have to put it in some audio thing. It's called like MF audio or something like that.
Oh god.
Yeah, and then you have to like figure out, what the hell was it? I forget what it was exactly, but you had to like set it to like, yeah, I don't fucking, it's quiet. All I know, it was a pain. So
yeah. But yep, that's basically it.
Do we have any more questions?
Yeah, we've got a few more, so we'll just knock them all out here.
Alrighty.
Have you run into any troubles with Toho while developing this mod?
Nope.
Yeah, thank the skies.
yeah, we're secretly working with them. Duh, they love us.
Shh, don't tell
Yeah,
him
totally.
that. What's your favorite fighting game or fighting game series?
If you want to count Smash, it's probably Smash. I would say my favorite out of all of them is Melee. Other than that, it's definitely Tekken.
Ooh. Oh, one of my favorite fighting games was like the Mortal Kombat series. Those
Yeah,
are
I like-
awesome.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I'm also a fan of Primal Rage and Jurassic Park Warpath.
They're so
Those
much
aren't-
fun.
Those aren't as safe options.
Cycronus just said, "Skullgirls, don't at me."
Skullgirls looks fun. I've never played it.
Yeah.
It looks really fun though.
If you want to try it out.
And last up, JK, it's probably Budokai 3. Last up, in the past, Gojirex has stated the reason the Unleashed Overhaul mod was abandoned was because Unleashed wasn't worth saving. The attitude towards Save the Earth seems to be the complete opposite. Why do you feel Save the Earth specifically is worth all the effort in overhauling?
Well, that was only part of the reason I abandoned Unleashed. It's maybe like a third of the reason, right? The other two-thirds would be I just got bored with it. I have yet to get bored with Save the Earth. and I only worked on Unleashed for like 4 months. The other thing was I was completely alone. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so it was only me doing things, and that's not a very good way to progress.
Yeah. No. I mean, some
Save
people
the
can do
Earth.
it.
Yeah, it was too much for like what I wanted to do with it. It was just too much for one person. I mean, Save the
Yeah.
Earth Melee is too much for one person. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't do this if it was just
Yeah,
me,
like there's
obviously.
absolutely no way that like any of us would be able to do it on our own. We would have,
Yeah,
and it's really like the collaborative effort of all of us that made it possible.
I would say Save the Earth is the most uh foundationally stable relative to its content. Like, Save the Earth is the best base to use for a new game because of its content to good gameplay ratio, right?
Mm.
Like, Destroy All Monsters Melee might be more fun, but it doesn't have as much monsters, whereas Unleashed is kind of like the complete opposite of Destroy All Monsters Melee, where it has a ton of monsters, but it's buggy, which is the biggest thing about it. Is that like Save the Earth is well put together, you know? It's very well put together, not like Unleashed, where you can only do so much with hex editing, and fixing game-breaking bugs is not one of them. So a lot of Unleashed would be fighting Unleashed. Like, many of its issues were all of like the mistakes for Unleashed were made in the room where they were deciding what kind of like game that they wanted to make, whereas Save the Earth is a lot of decisions in the code that are easily reversible.
Mm.
And Destroy All Monsters Melee, it's obviously not the best choice because it's the same engine but less content, less monsters, and it's way easier to make the game play like Destroy Monsters Melee than it is give Destroy Monsters Melee all of Save the Earth's monsters and stages and stuff. So yeah, Save the Earth is the best, hands down. We're doing the right thing.
Oh, totally.
All right. Well, that's Thank you to Starzilla for all the questions. If the guys like watching this and like later on down the line, then like thank you very much for the questions, and thank you, chat, for like all the questions that y'all sent in while I was working on this. And thank you guys for sticking with me while doing this.
Are we getting a shout out? Yo, that's sick. You're welcome.
Yeah. Again, it was like I can't point correctly. It's Goju Rex, Iris, Jacob, and Toku. Thank y'all for like sticking with me while I was working on it.
For sure.
No problem,
Um,
Very fun.
And so thank you everybody for tuning in. This has been Zane, and just tune in next time where I figure out the Pythagorean theorem of a rhombus.
Tune in next
Sounds
time
fun.
to watch him drop 20 bombs on Fortnite.
man.
Oh, and also a few things with like in regards to the to other things in the Save the Earth Melee Discord server, we have a movie night tonight, and we're gonna be watching Godzilla Raids Again, which I swear that was not planned at all. Like that was just a funny coincidence that happened.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, exactly. What a coincidence.
What a coincidence. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was really funny when that happened. And I guess like I don't know. If there's anything you guys want to say before I head out, y'all are welcome to.
I love you.
Be stellar people. Be good individuals.
Indeed.
There you go.
Yeah.
Pay it forward. Positivity goes a long way.
Take no prisoners.
Or kill people. Just
I
taking prisoners is bad. Don't do that.
Yeah. No. No. Just don't. My it's my favorite thing is to do is economics.
Economics.
Yeah, actually, no.
he has to.
Like, does this face look like someone that like pulls out an economics textbook?
He has a degree in economics.
No, I know. I have a degree in biomedical engineering.
Well,
Eat
eat your breakfast. Do your homework. Don't do drugs unless they're the good ones. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good day. And also, no, atomic mayonnaise is not an instrument. And horseradish is not an instrument either. All right.
Real.
That's it. That's it. Thank you for watching for like the 40th time. Goodbye, everybody.
See ya.